If every secret you've ever kept were poured into a river, would you still call that water clean? If every rule you've ever bent for someone that you cared about was projected over your head, would you still dare to call yourself innocent? Good. Then this hearing concerns you. As of now, this is not a TEDx talk. This is a hearing. This room is now a courtroom. You are the jury. Humanity is the accused. And the Nile is the only honest witness. And I rise before the court to defend a dangerous claim. Corruption is admirable. Yes, admirable. Let the record show. The defense is aware of how that sounds, but that is precisely why this hearing is happening today, now. I'm not here to praise greed, not here to excuse abuse. I am here to cross-examine what we call corruption. I am Tony Mehani, and this is my big idea. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we convene today in the case of humanity v. itself. The charges: hypocrisy, moral inconsistency, contradictions. And before any of you grow comfortable, let the court know you are not only the jury, you are also evidence. Once upon a time, I thought rivers carried water. Then I realized they carry confessions. The Nile has watched promises made and broken on the same banks. Charity in the morning, betrayal by nightfall. The Nile has watched people wash their hands in the same water they dirtied. If the river were sworn in, few of us would leave this courtroom acquitted. Because the Nile does not exaggerate, it does not perform, it remembers. And a true witness remembers simple stories. The prosecution. For fairness' sake, the defendant will represent the prosecution. They rise and argue. Corruption ruins nations. Corruption steals futures. Corruption is shameful. Corruption is selfish. Yes? No objections. Those facts rest. Corruption born from greed is rot. Corruption born from power is poison. But the prosecution quietly assumes that all corruption is the same. That assumption is on trial today. Exhibit A, the farmer. Your Honor, I call a farmer from the Nile into evidence. He testified, if the Nile is kind, we eat. If not, we borrow. Borrow what, I asked. Money? No. We borrow dignity. My son slept hungry twice. He thought it was a game. I tried laughing at hunger. Now, under oath, we ask you, jury, if that father lies, bribes, or bends the law to feed his child, is that corruption? Or is he refusing to let his child starve in a system that forgot about him? Hunger does not read law books, so tell me honestly, is survival a crime? Exhibit B, the man with two families, a respected man. He funded schools, he helped in floods, he solved disputes. But he also had two secret families. A villager said, he is a sinner, but he is our sinner. Messy? Yes. Human? Also yes. When crisis came, he arrived first. So what enters the record? His failure or his usefulness? A life is rarely a single headline. Exhibit C, the defense testifies. I call myself to the stand. I once hid a truth to protect someone I cared about. My silence protected them, but it also protected a lie. There are nights I still appeal that verdict in my head, in my mind. So if corruption is on trial, place me beside it. And if we are honest, place yourselves too. The difference between the accused and the audience is quite simply just exposure. Now, the star witness. The court calls its star witness, the Nile. That is why my novel is titled, And the Nile is the Witness. 7 suspects, 7 perspectives, 7 truths. Because this river taught me, people remember the vision that protects their conscience. A witness remembers what really happened. The Nile has been sworn in for thousands of years, before courts, before headlines, before reputations. History forgets, but rivers don't. Members of the jury, this is the defense in one sentence. Not all corruption is born from greed. Some of it is born from love, from fear, from survival. When a rule stands between a parent and a child, it's hunger. That rule is on trial too. Sometimes corruption is just love that broke the rules. If survival is illegal, then morality is sitting in the wrong chair. So the verdict rests with you. If corruption is always shameful, then every parent who broke a rule to protect their child is guilty. If corruption is always evil, then survival itself is suspicious. The Nile has watched humanity long enough to know we are not clean creatures, we are complicated ones. And some of our most human moments are when rules collapse. So a final statement to the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, one day your life will become a story someone else tells. A shorter story, a simpler story, a cleaner story than the one you lived. And you will not be in the room to object. So before you pass judgment on another life, remember this. Every person you judge is a case file you never fully read. The Nile reads the whole file. Every page, every footnote, every crossed out line. And after reading humanity for thousands of years, the Nile has reached a quiet conclusion. That what we push or rush to call corruption is often a record of love, of fear, of guilt, of survival, of people choosing people over rules. So when I said corruption is admirable, I did not mean greed is admirable. I meant this. The instinct to protect your own, to bend before you break, to choose a human life over a perfect rule, that is the part of corruption that is admirable. Because a world with zero corruption would also be a world with zero disobedient love, zero risky loyalty, zero rule breaking for the sake of someone else. Clean, orderly, and terribly inhuman. So if that is corruption, then perhaps what we admire is not the crime, but the humanity within it. And when your life is entered into evidence, I hope you are judged by your whole life, your whole story, not your worst sentence. Thank you.